The search for the most awesome meat is never ending.
I sure hope we find some awesome meat. This helicopter rental is really expensive.
It spans the far reaches of the globe to find the best there is.
Excuse me, hiker dudes. I'm looking for a savory, salty meat. Something awesome that everybody will enjoy. What? No, you come closer.
Until I find something that is truly out of this world.
No, Luke, it's called bacon. It's pork belly that's been cured and smoked. Everybody loves it in. Huh? Leah's doing what? Hold on, I'll be right there. Let's do this. A lot of people ask me all the time, Josh, how did you get so awesome? I think it has to do with this sweet-ass mustache. But most importantly, it takes a lot of hard work. It doesn't just happen. You have to dedicate yourself. Wear a lot of black t-shirts, forward a lot of memes to your friends, like Carnivore Kingdom on Instagram, don't use a propane grill, do put olive oil on the skin of your baked potato to make sure it's all crisped up, and most importantly, you gotta do your research. For me, it all started back in the early 90s.
I'm tired of being ordinary. How can I be more awesome? I got it. Maybe I should read a book. People always say that all the answers are in the Bible.
My life changed that day. It's like a voice from above said, "Hey Josh, you don't need to eat store-bought bacon. You can make your own." Turns out, that voice from above was my dad, and what he actually said was, "Get off the couch and do something with your life." So I did. I started to cure and smoke my own bacon. Turns out, it's not as hard as I thought. All you need is some pork belly, a good cure recipe, 8 days, a smoker, and a meat slicer. That's it! You have all that stuff, right? I mean, who doesn't? So today, I'm gonna teach you how to be awesome. I did it for Tony Robbins, and I'm gonna do it for you. Let's do this!
First things first, we need a cure calculator. Since we're using nitrates, we want to make sure to get the right ratio so we don't get people sick. DiggingDogFarm.com has a handy tool that'll give you the right ratios of salt and sugars to use. Type the weight of your pork belly into the converter tool to figure out the weight in grams. Then enter the weight into the calculator. Bam! I get the exact amount of ingredients to use. But since I'm using a mix of brown and turbinado sugar, my sugar value is 50%, so I know how much of each to use. First, I weigh out the brown sugar. When I have the right amount, I'm going to let it sit out for a while to dry out. Brown sugar is really moist, and it'll clump up and be hard to mix with the other ingredients. Next, I'm going to weigh out my pink curing salt, or Prague powder number 1. This contains the nitrates, so we don't want to overdo it. Then I'll weigh out my salt. As always, I like to use kosher salt. It doesn't have any iodine in it, and the flakes are much larger. Then I'm going to use a cane sugar or turbinado sugar. It's not refined like white sugar, and I think it tastes better. Now for some flavor. I'm going to toast up 2 tablespoons of fennel seed. The toasting helps release some of the oils, which is where the flavor is. When they're light brown, they're ready. Then I'm going to do the same with 2 tablespoons of coriander seeds. When they're toasted, I'm going to crush them up to release some of the flavor. Here's a hack. Place the seeds in a Ziploc bag, close it, and pound them with a meat tenderizer. This will open the seeds up and keep them from flying all over my kitchen floor. Dump them in the cure and add 2 tablespoons black pepper, a 1/4 teaspoon ground clove, and now that our brown sugar is dried out, dump it in there too. I like to work it with my hands to break up any big bits. Get it nice and mixed.
Now, you're gonna wanna get yourself some bacon meat, AKA pork belly. Little known fact, they call it the pork belly because it comes from the stomach area of a pig. Who knew? Now, you're gonna wanna give it a really good smack. It doesn't do anything, but it's really fun. Plus, it makes a really cool sound. Sorry, I get a little carried away with bacon sometimes.
Now get yourself a cookie sheet with a wire rack. Woo, damn, look at all the meat on there. If the belly is too fatty, it'll just shrivel up when you cook it later. A full pork belly is pretty big. Too big for most bags, so I'm gonna cut that sucker in half. Once I do that, it's time for the cure. Try and spread it on evenly.
Wait, am I going too fast? Do you want some slow-mo shots? I can do that.
Oh yeah, look at all those spices. My mouth is getting all dry just looking at them. Now whatever you do, don't look at the mess on the table behind the pork belly. Just focus on the belly.
Now flip it and coat the other side.
Oh hell yeah, look at that slow-mo.
Okay, enough with the spice porn, you freaks.
Make sure and get the sides too. Cover the whole thing evenly. Now it's time for some more flavor. Chopped garlic. I'm gonna use a tablespoon on each side. Get it all over. Oh man, how good does that look? I'd eat it right now.
Except that would be wrong. We don't eat raw pork, people. Come on, we've been over this.
Now stick that belly into a 2-gallon Ziploc bag and get ready for the good stuff. Get some pure maple syrup, not that pancake stuff, and pour half a cup. Then get some of that nice bourbon you have sitting in your bar and pour in 4 tablespoons and give it a good mix. Pour half of it in each bag. Now stick it in the fridge. It's got to cure for at least 7 days. Every day you need to flip the bag to make sure it cures evenly. Every day you flip it until it's been a week.
Guess what day it is today, Bacon? It's smoking time!
When it's done, we want to give it a good rinse to get all that salt off. It's been in a cure, so it's salty enough. Stick it on your wire rack and let it dry as we start our smoker. I'm going to use a Komodo ceramic smoker for this because it's easy for me to regulate the heat. Also, I'm going to use jumbo lump charcoal because it'll burn longer, and oak wood chunks to add a nice smoky flavor. I'm setting the pit at 160 to start and let some smoke absorb into the meat. I want a nice clean smoke, little puffs of white. If there's too much smoke, it's going to taste like crap. After an hour, I'm going to raise the temperature to 170. Keep it there for about an hour, and then raise the temp to 180 for an hour. Then to 190. After about 4 to 5 hours, it'll get a nice smoky color. I don't want to cook the meat too much or render the fat. So when it hits around 145 to 150, I'm going to take it off. Hot damn, look at that. The color, the fat. I'm ready to eat this now.
But it's not ready yet, so put your tongue back in your mouth.
Rest is important, so I'm going to wrap it in some plastic wrap to let all the juices settle back into the meat and put it into the fridge for a couple hours. The colder bacon is, the easier it is to slice, so I'm going to stick it in the freezer for 20 minutes. Now check out this bad boy I bought on Craigslist for $45.
Somebody got it for their wedding and never used it. Obviously, their relationship's in trouble.
I'm going to do some thick slices today because, well, gosh darn it, I'm worth it. Now, I can't stress this enough. Do not cut your fingers off.
If you do cut your fingers off, here's the release of liability you agreed to when you started to watch this video.
Oh yeah, look at that meat goodness. I like to cook my bacon over a medium heat. That way it won't burn and gives the fat plenty of time to render down. I'm going to take it off a little before it gets crisp, as the residual heat will keep it cooking as I take it off.
Some people marry for money. I married for bacon.
Awesome!
If you like this video, hit the like button. To see more just like it, make sure and subscribe and hit the bell to be notified for new videos. And be sure to like us on Instagram at Carnivore Kingdom and on Facebook at The Carnivore Kingdom.